Hello Year 12s and welcome to this, the first of two videos on management styles. There are three things that you need to do while you're watching this video. The first thing is to take the very best Cornell notes you can. The second thing is to use the pause and rewind functions. Use the pause function if you need to stop this video so that you can take notes. Use the rewind function if you have missed some information in this video and you want to go back over it. The third thing that you need to do is have your vocabulary sheets handy in front of you so that you can write into them the definitions of any important terms as well as the definitions of other words that you may be unfamiliar with. Once you've finished watching this video, you then need to read the pages of the textbook referred to on this slide. And if you find any information in those pages which you think is useful, then supplement your Cornell notes with that information. Well, let's get started then. To be an effective manager, a manager must use a management style that is appropriate for most effectively managing the business and employees of the business in any particular set of circumstances. In addition, to be an effective manager, the manager must have the skills that are necessary to most effectively manage the business and employees of the business in that set of circumstances. Different management styles require different management skills. In this series of two videos, we will be looking at different types of management styles. In subsequent videos, we will be looking at management skills. In class, we will be doing some activities which require you to identify and propose the management style that is most appropriate in different case scenarios and the management skills that the manager will require in those different case scenarios. I have set out the learning intentions for these two videos on management styles on this slide. Please make sure that you write these learning intentions in your Cornell notes. As you can see, there are two learning intentions for this topic. The first learning intention requires you to be able to analyze and discuss the different kinds of management styles. The purpose of these two videos is to assist you to achieve this learning intention. The second learning intention requires you to be able to evaluate the appropriateness of management styles for a range of business situations. You will be able to achieve this learning intention by completing the tasks that I give you in class. In these two videos, we will be looking at 5 different kinds of management styles. That is, 5 different approaches that can be used by managers to manage a business and its employees. In this video, we will be looking at the first 2 management styles, which are the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. In the second video, we will be looking at the 3 other management styles, which are the consultative management style, the participative management style, and the laissez-faire management style. There are 3 characteristics that are used to describe each different kind of management style. The first characteristic is the value that the management style places on employee contributions. That is, the extent to which the management style is task-oriented, in the sense that the management style is focused on achieving a particular outcome, or employee-oriented, in the sense that the management style recognizes the value of involving employees in decisions about how to achieve the best outcome. I suggest that you include these definitions of task-oriented and employee-oriented at the end of your vocabulary sheets in the section for other definitions. The second characteristic that is used to describe the different kinds of management styles is the degree of management control that the manager has under that management style. That is, whether the management style centralizes authority and decision-making in the manager or decentralizes authority and decision-making so that the authority to make a decision is shared between the manager and employees. We say that management control, that is authority and decision making, is centralised if it is exercised by the manager without any input from employees. And we say that management control, that is authority and decision making, is decentralised if it is shared between the manager and employees. I suggest that you include these definitions of centralised and decentralised at the end of your vocabulary sheets in the section for other definitions. The third characteristic that is used to describe the different kinds of management styles is the nature of the communication between the manager and employees when the manager is exercising that management style. That is, the extent to which the communication is either one-way communication, whether top-down from the manager to the employees or bottom-up from the employees to the manager, or is two-way communication, where communication is both from the manager to employees and from the employees to the manager. Whenever you're asked to describe a management style, you must describe that management style using these three characteristics. I will show you how to do this when, later on in this video, I define and explain the different types of management styles. You can see from this diagram that the autocratic and persuasive management styles, which are the styles that we're looking at in this video, are task-oriented, that is, they are heavily focused on achieving an outcome, involve authority and decision-making being centralised, that is, exercised solely by the manager without any input from employees, and involve one-way communication, that is, top-down communication from the manager to employees. As I've said, in this video we are looking at the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. I'll start off by defining both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. I'll then explain in a bit more detail what each of these management styles involves, and we'll finish up by looking at the advantages and disadvantages of the autocratic and persuasive management styles. That will then give you all the information that you need to be able to analyse and discuss these two different kinds of management styles, which is the first of our learning intentions for this video. So here we have a definition of autocratic management style. In your vocabulary sheets, look down the left-hand side, find the term autocratic management style and write this definition in there. The autocratic management style is a task-oriented management style where all decision-making is centralised. There is little delegated authority, which means that the manager doesn't share authority to make decisions with employees, and communication is one way, which is downwards from the manager to employees. When you've written this definition in your vocabulary sheets, please highlight the words which are in red, bold, italics type. You'll see that these words refer to each of the three characteristics that are used to describe the different kinds of management styles. It's for this reason that if ever you're asked to define the autocratic management style, you must include these highlighted words in your definition. I note that the autocratic management style is sometimes referred to as the authoritarian management style. However, I'd prefer you to use the more commonly accepted description, which is autocratic management style. On this slide, I've set out the definition of the persuasive management style. The persuasive management style is a task-oriented management style where all decision-making is centralised, there is little delegated authority, and communication is one way, that is downwards from the manager to employees. So far, this definition is exactly the same as the definition of the autocratic management style. But in the case of the persuasive management style, the manager tries to persuade employees of the benefits of the manager's decisions. And this is the key difference between the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. Look down your vocabulary sheets in the left-hand side and find the term persuasive management style. Then write this definition in there. Once you've done that, please highlight the red, bold, italicized words and also highlight the green, bold, italicized words. The red, bold, italicized words refer to each of the three characteristics that are used to describe the different kinds of management styles. And so you must ensure that if ever you're asked to define the persuasive management style, you include these highlighted words in that definition. The green, bold, italicized words are critical because these describe the difference between the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. So again, you must include these words in any definition that you write of the persuasive management style. To reiterate, the persuasive management style is very similar to the autocratic management style, except that under the persuasive management style, the manager tries to convince employees that the manager's decision is the best one. However, like the autocratic management style, the manager makes the decision, and even if the employees don't agree with that decision, the manager will stick with that decision. So be very clear, do not confuse the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. In the persuasive management style, the manager tries to persuade employees of the benefits of the manager's decisions. And a final warning, many students make the mistake, probably under pressure of a SAC or an exam, of confusing the persuasive management style and the participative management style. Don't make that mistake. We'll be looking at the participative management style in the second video. You can see from these definitions of the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style that these two management styles share similar characteristics. First, both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style are task-oriented. The autocratic or persuasive manager places little value on employee contributions. In this regard, the autocratic or persuasive manager makes decisions without consulting with or otherwise seeking any input from employees. The focus of this manager is on achieving a particular task efficiently and following established procedures to achieve that task. That is, the autocratic or persuasive manager's aim is to achieve a particular outcome, and the manager sees employees merely as the means to achieve that outcome. If achieving the outcome means that employees have to work 16-hour days, 7 days a week, then that is a necessary price that has to be paid for getting the job done. Correspondingly, the autocratic or persuasive manager believes that the main motivation for employees working is payment. If the manager needs their employees to work 16-hour days, 7 days a week to complete a particular task, then the manager thinks that it's just a matter of paying employees to do this. From the perspective of the autocratic or persuasive manager, all that matters is achieving the required outcome. Whether the manager's employees are satisfied with their jobs, feel that they are valued, or have a reasonable work-life balance is not an important consideration. Secondly, both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style involve a high degree of management control. It is the manager who makes decisions and gives directions without any input from employees, and it is the function of the employees simply to comply with, that is, obey the manager's decisions. With these two management styles, the manager has sole responsibility for planning the activities of the business, and the manager is the one who controls and monitors the implementation of these activities. Finally, both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style involve top-down communication, that is, communication from the manager to the employees. This is because all decisions are made by the manager, and so the only communication that's necessary is to tell the employees what the manager's decisions are so that the employees can implement those decisions. the manager's not interested in consulting with employees about the manager's decisions, or in receiving any feedback from employees on the manager's decisions. You'll recall that our first learning intention for this topic requires you to be able to analyse and discuss the different kinds of management styles. To do this, you need to understand the advantages and disadvantages of these different management styles. And in this table, I've set out the advantages and disadvantages of the autocratic and persuasive management styles. This is important information which is directly relevant to one of the key knowledge points for this outcome, and so please copy this table into your summary books. Now, when I say copy, I don't mean that you should just copy the words down without thinking. I want you to listen to my explanation and then describe in your table the advantages and disadvantages in words that make sense to you and that will help you to understand and remember these advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage of both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style is that decision-making is quick because only one person is involved. It is the manager who makes the decisions without input from employees, and the employees must simply implement those decisions made by the manager. However, a disadvantage of this is that a quick decision is not always the best decision. Sometimes making the best decision requires consulting with other people in the business and taking their views into account. While this can take time, it does mean that the decision is more likely to be better thought through. The second advantage of both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style is that decisions are made by an experienced leader, that is, the manager. However, a disadvantage of this is that even an experienced leader will not always make the best decisions because they might not have all the necessary information or because they can't see all the angles which are necessary to take into account to make the best decision. In addition, if the manager is the only decision maker, then this discourages teamwork between the manager and their employees because the manager doesn't seek any input from their employees. If a manager doesn't ask for their employees' input, then the employees may feel that they are not valued, with the result that they become unmotivated and dissatisfied with their jobs. This in turn may lead to the employees refusing to cooperate with the manager or even leaving the business. Having said this, under the persuasive management style, the manager does explain the reasons for the manager's decisions to their employees. And this means that employees will have a better idea of what to do because they understand these reasons. The third advantage of both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style is that communication is clear in the sense that the manager tells employees of the manager's decisions and the employees have to implement those decisions. The employees are clearly informed of the manager's decisions and there's no doubt about what they have to do. However, a disadvantage of this is that there's no open communication between the manager and their employees, so the manager doesn't get any feedback from the employees, even though that feedback might improve the manager's decisions. The final advantage of both the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style is that they focus on getting the job done. In the end, the success of a business depends on it doing things, whether that's selling more products, installing new technology, or developing a new product. The benefit of these two management styles is that they have a focus on achieving what the business needs to achieve to be successful. However, a disadvantage is that because the autocratic or persuasive manager sees employees simply as the means to achieve outcomes, then employees will not be properly looked after, for example, by being given a reasonable work-life balance. In the short term, the autocratic or persuasive manager might succeed in getting the job done, but in the longer term, this can lead to employees feeling undervalued and therefore either not doing their jobs properly or leaving the business. You now have 4 advantages and corresponding disadvantages of the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. Having summarised these, you should be in a position to comprehensively discuss the advantages and disadvantages of these two management styles. Now, wouldn't that be a good question for a SAC? Well, that now brings us to the end of this first video in our series of 2 videos on management styles. You should now be able to analyse and discuss the autocratic management style and the persuasive management style. In the next video, we will be looking at the consultative management style, the participative management style, and the laissez-faire management style. You'll be able to achieve the second of the learning intentions, that is, to evaluate the appropriateness of management styles for a range of business situations when you complete the tasks that I'll be giving you in class. Don't forget to read the pages from the textbook referred to on the first slide, and if you find any additional useful information from those readings, please include that information in your Cornell notes. In the meantime, thank you for your attention, and I look forward to you joining me for the second video.